This is Kansas City Today. I'm Noah Taborda. Today is Thursday, July 30th. Coming up, people living in homeless encampments say cities have been more aggressive about enforcement since a landmark U.S. Supreme Court decision 2 summers ago. Unhoused people say they're experiencing increased anxiety, frequent forced moves, and even bulldozing.
I really don't like how the city views the homeless and how they're, trying to get us all out of sight, out of mind, into the trees. It's not right.
Find out how some cities in the Midwest are taking different approaches to cleaning up homeless camps. Plus, increased activity by immigration and customs enforcement in Wichita is putting the city's Latino community on edge.
They say they are just looking for people who owe something or who are criminals. That's not true, because there were no criminals here. They weren't looking for anyone. It was people on a bus.
But first, some headlines. An Independence cop who shot and killed a 12-week-old baby and her mother is now suing the city. As KCUR Savannah Holly Bates reports, he alleges Independence did not properly allow him to return to work after the shooting and his post-traumatic stress disorder diagnosis.
In November of 2024, Independence police officer Jordan White shot and killed 34-year-old Maria Pike and her 12-week-old daughter, Destiny Hope, 4 times while responding to a domestic disturbance call. In the lawsuit, White said he developed PTSD after the shooting and the line-of-duty death of his best friend in a separate incident. He's suing Independence for discrimination, a hostile work environment, and retaliation. Those claims are all related to White's PTSD and his allegations that the police department did not make accommodations for him or allow him to properly return to work when he was cleared last year. In June, Independence settled with the victim's family for $6 million.
The City of Independence said it was aware of the pending litigation but has no comment at this time. An attorney for White did not respond to a request for comment. The Kansas City Streetcar Authority says it would cost between $125 and $175 million to build a new east to west streetcar line connecting downtown to the historic 18th and Vine district. One proposed route would run along 18th Street from Main Street to the Paseo. Future expansions could extend east of the Paseo or along Southwest Boulevard. Lawrence Blankenship was among the few dozen people who attended a public meeting on the streetcar plans Tuesday night. He's interested in the project as a member of the nearby St. Monica Catholic Church.
And for me, there are a lot of positive things that are going on within the historic 18th and Vine district, and certainly being connected by a streetcar is an exciting opportunity, I think, for the area.
Officials have not yet determined how the project would be funded. The Streetcar Authority will publish a final report later this year. A Kansas woman is suing Taco Bell after she allegedly contracted cyclosporiasis from the food there. KMUW's Daniel Caudill reports.
Nicole Belote of Hutchinson allegedly became ill after eating a Taco Supreme earlier this month. She was hospitalized for 3 days with symptoms like diarrhea, vomiting, and a severe migraine. Belote has the respiratory disease COPD, and the illness made her so dehydrated that it allegedly affected her lungs. Thousands of people in the U.S. have gotten sick due to the cyclospora parasite outbreak, including at least 460 people in Kansas. Federal officials have linked the outbreak to shredded lettuce produced by Taylor Farms and sold at Taco Bell locations in several states. Taco Bell says it has since removed all affected lettuce from its stores.
We'll be right back after this. 2 years ago, the U.S. Supreme Court decided cities, counties, and states could pass camping bans forbidding unhoused people from sleeping outdoors in public spaces. Hundreds of cities have done so, including several in Missouri and Kansas. The Midwest Newsroom's Nicole Grundmeyer reports on how these bans are playing out in the region.
Near a river on the east side of Des Moines, volunteers with Direct Empowerment Iowa Alliance cook meals for unhoused people living in a camp. They're making hot dogs topped with grilled onions and bell peppers. They're also moving a large camper the city is threatening to bulldoze. Latasha Peters is one of the volunteers.
It's been hard. We had a homeless Navy vet, feeding tube, throat cancer, living in a tent. He couldn't get access to food. He relies on liquids and baby formula. And we managed to put a video out to our community and ask for donations for him, and we brought him out some food, but he was starving.
A landmark U.S. Supreme Court decision 2 summers ago changed how local governments can interact with residents of these camps. The court ruled ordinances banning camping in public spaces are not cruel and unusual punishment, even if people have nowhere else to sleep. They mostly target long-term encampments, which are different from recreational camping sites. Stephanie Roth has lived at the East Des Moines camp since March. She has osteoarthritis, chronic pain, fibromyalgia, and mental illness. She says moving frequently is hard on her body and mind.
I really don't like how the city views the homeless and how they're, trying to get us all out of sight, out of mind, into the trees. It's not right.
More than 76,000 people in the Midwest experience homelessness, according to 2025 HUD data. Nationally, more than 300 cities and 14 states have passed camping bans. In the Midwest, that includes Lawrence, Kansas, and Norfolk, Nebraska. In Columbia, Missouri, businesses are lobbying city leaders to pass a ban. But even in cities without camping bans, bulldozing is common, as residents and business owners demand that cities clean up camps. Nationwide, at least 3 people have been killed when cities bulldozed encampments. According to the New York Times, they were undetected until it was too late. KB Doman is an attorney for Arch City Defenders in St. Louis. She says there have been some near misses in the city, which does not have a camping ban.
We've gotten really close. There's been times where community members have literally had to block bulldozers because the city is like, we want this camp cleared, we're coming in with bulldozers.
Last year, Omaha, Nebraska considered a camping ban, but the city council rejected it. Instead, they created an encampment pilot program. Andrew Mitchell is an employee of Together, a nonprofit in Omaha which works with the city.
Every day we were out going to these camps and making sure that everybody had some sort of case management. And instead of the city coming in and just bulldozing right away and people losing their everything, all their belongings, their IDs, their social security cards, their birth certificates, which is really rough. They allowed us the time to get in and to make sure that these people had case management going on before they had to move.
The Texas-based Cicero Institute advocates and lobbies for camping bans. Director of Public Safety Policy Devin Kurtz says it's a matter of public health and safety.
It's a moral question. There are a lot of individuals who are not comfortable with structured involuntary intervention for individuals. They just don't see that as something that the state should be able to do. I do see that as something the state should be able to do in extreme situations.
Kurt says there is a small percentage of unhoused people who cannot keep themselves safe or are a threat to others. For those people, he is okay with the government forcing them into a mental health facility or, in extreme cases, jail. Kurt says he does not expect camping bans to solve homelessness, but he says they can force unhoused people to go into shelters or engage with outreach. I'm Nicole Grunmeyer, the Midwest Newsroom.
The Midwest Newsroom is a collaboration including NPR and public radio stations in Iowa, Kansas, Missouri, and Nebraska. The Midwest Newsroom is a member of the Trust Project. Earlier this month, a bus carrying people to Mexico made a stop in North Wichita. For the first time, Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents asked the drivers and passengers to show citizenship documents or work permits. KMUW's Meg Brighton-Mellish and Jennifer Anima report the ramping up of ICE activity has a portion of the city on edge.
Norma Cabrales and her sister Maria have owned Gorditas Norma in North Wichita for 12 years. It serves as a stop for the Madero Express, one of several cross-country bus lines that take riders from Wichita to cities in Durango, Mexico. On a recent morning, a bus driver called Maria to say ICE agents were outside. Norma grabbed her phone and went outside.
I went outside and started recording the video. Why did I do it? Because somehow I wanted to let our undocumented clients know not to come here, that immigration was here, to protect them from coming here at that moment and being detained.
Norma went live on the restaurant's Facebook page. Her video shows 2 ICE officers approaching the bus and questioning its drivers. In the video, Norma tells people to stay away from the restaurant, especially if they're undocumented. Sylvia Leyva owns Paqueteria Mexico, the Wichita-based company that operates the Madero Express. She says ICE agents wanted to see papers from both drivers and passengers.
Immigration arrived and said they had to check passengers and operators. There were more people around, but they did not check them. But 99% of travelers to Mexico are people with legal status that come and go, and operators have valid work permits.
The agents didn't arrest anyone, but Leyva says it was tense because there may have been undocumented people waiting with loved ones at the stop. Norma and Maria Cabrales say ICE agents had been patrolling the Nomar neighborhood for days. They recognized the large unmarked SUVs. They'd seen the same cars in a video of a dramatic arrest just south of the restaurant 2 days before. Local law enforcement agencies say their offices weren't notified of any specific operations. ICE officials did not respond to multiple requests for comment. Norma says the patrols had an instant impact on the restaurant.
Since Monday, we haven't sold half of what we usually sell. Why? Because people know. But like I said, we would rather have people be safe than us make our regular sales. I prefer 1,000 times over that people be okay, even if it means losing some of our business.
Norma says business has been down throughout Nomar. In the hours after her video was posted, several local restaurants closed for the day or said they would only be making deliveries. Another bus company that takes people to and from Mexico has urged passengers to come alone to the stop and keep family and friends away. Leyva's company didn't issue that warning, but she says people are staying away anyway.
And what I noticed was that what a lot of people did was come catch the bus and leave their car outside. They later sent someone to pick up their cars with fear that maybe whoever was bringing them to the bus stop would have problems.
With the added tensions, Norma warned her employees that she might not have enough business to cover paychecks for the day. But that didn't happen. She says people rallied around the restaurant, calling in orders, and she ended up doing double the business of a typical day. She says that support has been a blessing, especially amid fears for her community after the ICE operation.
I wanted to cry during the entire day. I feel helpless, overall helpless, because they say they are just looking for people who owe something or who are criminals. That's not true, because there were no criminals here. They weren't looking for anyone. It was people on a bus. I don't believe them anymore when they say they're just looking for criminals.
I'm Meg Britton Mellish with Jennifer Anima.
This is Kansas City Today. I'm Noah Taborda. This episode was produced by Seth Jarouse and KCUR Studios. It was edited by Madeline Fox, Gabe Rosenberg, and Emily Yunker. Our music comes from Blue Dot Sessions. To read Nicole's story about camping bans and Meg and Jennifer's story on ICE activity in Kansas, visit kcur.org, where you can find more local news from Kansas City's NPR station. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow.